y'all. I'm Coach B.
And I'm Nishia T.
Untitled, we likes to party. Everybody grab somebody. You feel it, sometimes we steal it. Drama, let's kill it. Come and get your healing. Hot toddy, hot toddy time. Hot toddy, hot toddy time.
We're looking for women like you to partner with us as we take it to the next level.
Hey y'all, it's Coach B.
And I'm Nishia T.
And it's Hot Toddy Time with GIRE. So y'all, you already know we got another really great guest on our show. Hey, and what can we say? I'm gonna let Nishia T do the honors.
Y'all already know we are excited about each guest that comes on. But today, I know she's excited, but me, I'm triply excited because today we don't just have a guest, but we have family.
Family.
The person that we have right now, he is my person that I can call on just to listen to me talk. He's my one call away when I need to go toe to toe with somebody. He is my little brother. He's my cousin by blood. We were raised as siblings, and he's from the Grove, Pleasant Grove, Texas. The one and only Starr K.
Staar K, welcome to the
Starr K.
show. We are so happy to have you here. And so we want you to tell everybody who you are.
Oh man, Starr K, to many, philanthropist to a lot, and just, I'm just me, in a nutshell.
That's the best thing you could ever be. Okay, well, we like hearing that short introduction.
That's the short. That's the short. That's the short version.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
But we need to go ahead and tap into the soul. So in order to do that, you know what we like to tell our guests, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go. Spill the tea with a shot of whiskey. Come on now, get deeper than
This
that.
time you just tell
We need to
people
know
who you are. You just told them your name. You
That's
told
it.
them a little bit about yourself, but we need you to go just a tad bit deeper.
Where did
than
this
that.
Starr K come from? How did he get in the sky?
Man, I've been doing music pretty much like my whole life. Starr K originates from, my granny used to always tell me I'm gonna be a star when I'm young, right? When I was younger. And the K come from my middle name,
That you want to tell us?
I bet I won't.
I bet I
won't.
know it though. I bet I know it though.
I bet they know it.
And I actually call you. That's my name for you. So.
Thanks. But no, I've been doing this for a minute. Had the privilege of being signed to a major record label back when I was in college. I wouldn't say privilege, but I was signed to a major record label back when I was in college.
Yeah.
Saw the ins and outs of that, saw the bad parts and the good parts of that. Took my own, reconnected and rekindled with my brother Ray LaFleur and my brother Mike Mitch, who was my manager also. And we came up with Black Market Movement. So we got our own now.
I like that.
Yeah.
See, for the longest, I was calling him Black Market K-Star.
Man, a lot of people do that.
And she had to say, who are you talking about? Starr K?
Yeah, she did.
And y'all, the K stands for Candy Bear. So when y'all see him in the street,
And
Starr Candy.
Starr Candy, but I like to call him LL Starr K, Lady
Okay,
Love. If
Lady
anybody know
Love.
anything about him, when he talks, it's like he it's a love letter that comes out of his mouth when he starts to talk.
You see, baby, I want to be everything to you. I want to be your father. I want to be your friend. I want to be your lover. I want to be your uncle, your aunt, your mama, your puppy.
So my nickname for him is LL Starr K, Lady Love.
All right.
Starr K. So
Is that some panties?
Dropping out the
You know, they throw the panties on the stage. Is that some panties?
and I'm gonna take them and I'm gonna toss them back out. Don't be throwing
at us.
not in front of me. Don't be
She a
tossing. No,
hater.
respect.
Respect man. Okay,
Respect.
that's respect. Well, that is awesome to know. But tell us how long you have been doing this.
Um,
The whole rapping.
the whole rapping. it started like me and my cousin used to always rap like back in the day, right? Like we used to get radio, put the tape in. I don't want to tell my age, so I ain't do it. We used to put the tape in and record over the tape. And we had 2 radios, right? You had to have one with the music and one to record you on. So we used to do that. So that started back a while ago, but I took it serious probably when I got into high school. I would say at the age of 16, I was with a group called BOC out of Pleasant Grove. We sold records at school. That was, we was a major hit at school. After that, I went to college when I signed my first major. So I would say, man, I've been in it for a minute. I ain't giving my age, like I said. I've been in it for a minute.
Okay. So 16 bars when he was 16.
Big facts.
Yeah.
So,
Big
little
facts.
known fact about me is, and most of my viewers and everybody gonna know me, my actual original rap name was Versatile.
Okay.
And then later on, it became Valley. So everybody knows me as Valley and Minister Valley because at first it was, secular rapping, and then I got into gospel rapping, and everybody in H-Town knows me as Valley. So when they see me, they be waiting to see what's gonna drop from me. So I was rapping in high school, freestyle challenges. I attended Madison, used to beat all the boys, and then the boys would come back, and it was only one dude that I always come for me, little Hispanic dude. I think his name was Joe or something. But anyways, y'all remember that pencil tapping? Man, breaking pencils on heads. So, this is near and dear to my heart because everybody knows I love music. Rapping was my thing. It runs deep in my family. My uncle, all of our people, everybody knows Straight Lace, Michi, aka Blow out of Houston. All of our connects, people we connected to. I mean, it's a big thing. So everybody was rapping back in the day, trying to get under J Prince,
Rap a lot.
trying to, do all of those things. And if you wasn't trying to do that, you was trying to have your own. So, so shout out to everybody who did it big for us and opened the way for us, out that way. But your girl was rapping. I know Tasha probably tuned in. She know how it used to go. Oh, because my other name was Mrs. Vila. Miss Vila.
Okay.
That was when I was in my seductress stage. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah,
She's
my
telling
name.
on herself now.
Name changed, a couple times, but when I got into, God, it became Valley. So it's just like me in the valley. You know what I'm saying? Riding to the hilltop.
Y'all got they got me feeling a little left out, so I'm just gonna say I ain't no rapper, but don't push me. You know what I'm saying? No,
Okay,
I ain't
what if we gave her a rap name?
Well, the Nishia T, right?
Nishia T.
That's where it came from.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, it was already there, right?
Okay.
But like we used to, like this is like I had my first studio at my sis house.
I ain't even think about that. I mess with you a lot about that, but I ain't even think.
Thanks.
Okay, she was putting on.
Man, she
could have been a producer.
Man, listen, if it wasn't for her, like a lot of my motivation or my inspiration would not have surfaced. You know what I mean? So, like equipment, everything.
That's funny now. I honestly did not think about that, but it was so funny because it was my house was the house that everybody came to. Like they weren't my kids, but they were my other siblings, but they were always there all the time. I let him have my bedroom, and I slept on the couch.
What?
And my bedroom was their studio. Look, my thing was they were out of harm's way. They wasn't out there in the streets. So, if music is gonna keep them on the inside, and keep them safe, go ahead and let them do what they do.
That's what I'm talking about. That's a dope cousin / sister.
Man,
we call our cousins sisters too, so we call them cousisters.
Man.
That's a dope cousin.
We just say sister.
Okay. Sisters.
But yeah, no. But yeah, I knew that y'all. I never told him you were in music. I just wanted it to come out here. But yeah. She's let me listen to some of her music.
Yeah.
And y'all may have to
link up.
She can't take my spot. I'm gonna always be his backup.
Big facts.
She can stay his backup. You feel me?
Man,
You know what I'm saying? But we can add one more. That's what she said.
You just gonna do like one little verse.
Hey,
That's it. That's all you can
we
do.
can do it. We can do it. I'm with it. All right.
Nah, I ain't gonna never block your blessings, but nah, y'all should.
We should
definitely
definitely link
get
up.
together.
If y'all remember one of my songs, drop it. And if y'all know one of Starr K songs, drop it. You feel me? Let us see.
Welcome. I was gonna start naming some albums.
See? She cheating.
We might have a freestyle round robin on here just to rhyme with something.
Oh, we may have to do that.
Yeah, okay, we right. All right.
So, just to go a little bit deeper into the questionnaire part, tell us one of your most painful challenges that you faced in the industry.
It's been a lot. Like the one that impacted me the most was my homeboy, the passing of my homeboy, which I got on my neck. I don't go nowhere without him.
Yeah.
One of South Dallas finest, so Walter Hurd, man. Rest in peace to my guy. Like to me, I wouldn't. Before that, like I lost a couple people, right? You know, in the avenue that I come from, I lost a couple people, but it wasn't like, it was like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like, not cool that they gone, but, you know, like, man, it's another one. But that one right there really impacted, you know what I'm saying, had an influence on how I moved and maneuvered from that day forward. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, and that leads us to our next question, like, how did you see yourself overcoming, you know, that obstacle? Because I know we real close, and I can't imagine losing the homie because, or maybe her losing me, you know what I'm saying?
No,
like, we rap together, sing together in the car, you know, we make up all types of stuff, make up skits, you know, everything, and not, you know, we have other sisters and other friends, you know, and other people, but since we've been connected, it's like we've been side by side like zombies.
Bars.
It's real hard
Off the dome.
about what does time look like tomorrow if we not rolling together, you know, so, you know, how have you been able to overcome that?
I mean, it's like I don't put a time limit on my healing process. I think that's the first thing that people need to do. Like, you have to be okay with not being okay, right? If that makes sense.
Nah, that does.
You know, when a person says time heals wounds, like to me, that's 100% facts.
Yeah.
No matter how many times I talk to a person, no matter how many times I stay to myself or, you know, take myself out of an equation, it doesn't help me as much as me taking the time that I need, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that I'm fully over a process. So I would say it took me a while, the realization of a person that meant a lot to me no longer being here. I'm still not okay with it now. You know what I mean? I'm not okay with it. And shout out to my brother, man. He just lost his mom. And, you know, me and him had conversations, and he's online right now, and I tell him it's okay not to be okay. But he's one of the people that I look up to, right? And he always gives me that motivation and that encouragement that I need. And during his time of need, I just wanted to reciprocate that to him and let him know the same thing. Like, man, it's okay to not be okay, and he shows that. So, yeah.
And no, because we can, and we kind of talked about this in one of our previous shows, like holding on to stuff, that can be a burden. And, you know, if we don't let some stuff go, we'll end up letting it out in negative ways. So, you know, you need that somebody who you can call on, who you can talk to, and just sometimes you don't even have to say anything. Just for me, just let me vent sometimes. And then, you know what I'm saying, once I'm done, if you have, you know, a word or two of encouragement or advice, then go ahead, you know, give it to me. But sometimes we just need to let that, you know, let it go. But there is no time frame. Sometimes people will be like, it's been 2 years, it's been 5 years. You still? Yes.
Yeah,
I'm still, yeah.
She know I've been her, yeah.
Man, it's all good.
And it is all good. So how would you say that your overall journey shaped you as a person, as an artist, as Starr K?
Man, that's a good question. I just talked to one of my cousins, Lil B. They know him as that. I mean, Bo is what I know him as, and what we know him as, right?
Yeah.
Man, we had a conversation. Like he went away on a vacation for a little bit, and I decided to put an album together, well, not an album, a project together in his honor, right? That's another person that's like a brother to me, close to me. So I decided to do that. So we talked, and I told him that, you know, man, along this journey that we're on, it's up to us to pick the direction that we're going in, right? Like I always say, we were given the key to life at birth, right? But it's up to us to choose the right door.
Man.
And I tell people that all the time,
Choose
like you
the right door.
you given the key to life at birth. It's up to you to choose the right door, right? You know, there's no right or wrong. If we're all, you know, made from God, right, and created by God, there's no right or wrong path, right? You choose the outcome, you choose the direction, you choose the narrative, you pick that narrative and you stick with it. I think the false narratives of misdirection come in when you are unsure of the direction that you want to take, right? So when you say, hey, I'm gonna go through this door, and you change your mind and say, nah, I'm gonna go through that door, well, what changed? What changed the trajectory of you going that way from that way? You know what I mean? So you allow or bring those things into your path or your direction by being, you know, not making up your mind, right? So it shaped me pretty much, like coming from where I come from. Like in my music, I can never tell a lie, right? Because my family listen to my music.
Oh, and
My
they got a
partners
big
listen
family.
to my music, right? My homies listen to my music. They know me. They've been around me. They're around me 24 hours a day. So if I ever say something that's out of character, or I haven't lived, or I haven't witnessed, then it's gonna be like, man, you know, that sounds good.
It's gonna be like,
Yeah, but nigga, that you
I
didn't
like
do
the
that.
music.
My guy, you didn't do that.
Yeah,
You know what I
it
mean?
sound
Like,
And the melody is real nice.
yeah, but that ain't
But
true.
I know you're not gonna sing
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So, you know, that like talking to my close people, even Nishia T, like talking to her, it helps keep me grounded, right? Keep me to understand where I come from and where I'm going. So, hope that answered the question.
Y'all hear that? So most of those rappers that be out there that be spitting untruth, they probably don't have a big enough family to check it.
You know,
or a friend, good circle of friends. To be like, you know, it's a collaboration of both. Good friend and good friend.
Yeah, for real.
But
And
nah,
I like that.
Yeah, but I did want to touch back on what you were saying about the keys and the doors and the direction. Sometimes, you know, because everybody, you know, what make sense to you may not make sense to somebody else. Going through this door may look like trouble to somebody else, but if you have been directed, if you sincerely feel like this is the direction that you're supposed to be going, you gotta jump out on faith and take that, get that key, unlock that door.
Yeah.
And who knows? You know, he said one key. He opens doors, so that door may lead to. It's going to lead to another door, and you just it's just us taking those chances, and we gon' fail.
Yeah.
it's okay.
But fail forward. We said that on one show before. Fail forward.
Yeah.
When you fail, that's a stairway to the next destination. So, you know, it's so powerful hearing you are overcoming, you know, loss of a friend. That's a major issue. That's like, you know, I'm going to take it a little bit biblical, you know, a good friend, it says, it sticks closer than a brother.
Yeah.
So really, you didn't lose just your friend, you lost your brother, you know, and so that's major. But to have people in your life that's helping you overcome those obstacles and make it to this place, that's a good thing, you know. I'm loving how you being shaped right now. So, you know, we moving a little quicker than we expected because, you know, Starr K ain't gonna play. He just been spending the day with us, you know what I'm saying? He got the keys. You know. And I tried to tell Nishia T, you know, not everybody like to read their questions.
So she's lying.
I am. Okay. Right here on camera. You know, but nah.
But that's okay.
That's what he told us when he got here. He was like, you know, I don't like to read my questions. You know, he just like to let it flow. Okay, it's a spirit too. You know, a little spiritual. Okay. So, what keeps you motivated? you know, let's talk about that. Look, you keep going. You've been doing this since you was 16. You know, finding out, you know, in and out the label. Like, what keeps you motivated? Because I know some people right now that have been a part of labels, and then once it was done, that was it for them. Maybe because of what they see in the industry, I don't know, but they didn't keep going. So, what keeps you motivated?
Being successful in the eyes of my son. Right? And it's not so much of the music, it's so much of him not seeing me fail in anything, right? Or give up in anything, right? We shape and mold the futures of our youth, right? Through us.
Yeah.
So if my son see me give up on music or see me give up on whatever the case is, he's gonna think that's okay, right? And I'm not breeding a quitter.
Yeah.
In no way, shape, form, or fashion. So if he wake up tomorrow morning and say, Daddy, I want to be the president, then I'm going to do everything that I have to do to get him ready to be a president. I know that it's going to change. He's 9. So he's going to wake up and he probably want to be a firefighter tomorrow.
Yeah.
But whatever he wants to do, we're going to stick to that. If I don't know it, I'm going to learn it, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to learn together, and I'm going to make sure that he gets the basis of what he wants to do, because those ideas are not just things that he calling me right now, boy, I swear.
He heard his name on that live.
Get up.
He say, well, Daddy, I want to call you right now.
Man, I can tell you something. He's probably telling me his gun came in.
Yeah.
But, you know, oftentimes we shut off a child's dream by telling them, oh, you can't be that, or you can't do that, or nah, you need to dream a little smaller. You know what I mean?
That's too big.
Yeah, that you can't do that, man. You know, you can't. You know, nobody ever. It was a problem. 1 million people told Barack that he'll never become president.
Right.
Right? And look at him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was probably a lot of people that told, I can't think of the guy Michael Strahan, that he could never go into space, right? He did that, right?
How do you feel right now? Do you feel different?
I feel it's surreal, like it's almost like an out of body experience.
And that's dope. There was a lot of people that probably told Rosa Parks that you would not spark the mind of change, right?
Yeah.
And she did that. So Journey
Yeah.
of Truth, we have a lot of people that didn't listen to that narrative, that didn't listen to that person that said, you cannot do this, right? Right now we're sitting in a coffee shop, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that coffee was invented by African. Feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we would not be here right now if that man a man or woman did not listen to that person, tell them they can't do that, right?
Right.
So my biggest thing is that's what keeps me fired up. That's what keeps me going. And not only that, my family too, right? I get a call every other day from my sister to my right? And hey, how's it going? What you doing? Like I'm back in school right now for architectural engineering, and you know she stay on me.
You in school for architecture?
Man.
Look, he got to put the family on the map, and he got to get to building and creating some houses for us.
Quit flirting with me. I'm married.
Oh man, you know.
You know, we're gonna keep it family. No, let's.
Yeah, so that's
Y'all
what
know I
keep me
love me
fired
some
up.
architecture.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. So he said he ain't giving up. He gonna be the rapping architect.
And,
Okay.
I have to appreciate you for that. That coming from your sister, I appreciate you. Like I look forward to a new project, because he corrected himself earlier when he said album. So I ain't gonna say album. I'm gonna say project.
Right.
I appreciate every time you come out with something. I look forward to it because people vibe to him, but if don't nobody else vibe to you, we vibe to
She
you.
vibe. And
you know
I
what I'm
vibe
saying?
too. I heard a few of your bars, bro, and I must have played that mug back like 5-10 times. We gonna drop a clip.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
No limit when I grind, boy, I mastered the P, turning raps to a plaque, and no cap in my speech. Look, it was nice after week, same shirt I would wear, and I passed up on sleep to excel in the game, had to master my cheat. Gave 8s for the 30, never dragging my feet.
I'm gonna motivate you to keep going.
Yeah.
Heck, I don't care if you 102. I better hear the older they are, the harder they fall or something. I just gave you an album name.
The older they are,
I
the
just
harder
dropped
they
the
fall.
ball too.
That boy, he gonna be on his
is,
deathbed at 102,
With a
talking
mic.
about, son, come here. His little round gonna be, it's your daddy, Starr K. have a great day. For your soul I pray. They go make a way.
Hey.
I'm about to go.
Just trying to let you know.
Boy. Too honest over here.
Okay.
You just gotta keep it going.
Yeah.
So, one thing, in any industry, in anything that we do in life, sometimes we can go hard. We can push because because we want to be successful, because we are trying to do things to make sure our families are in place or set rather, that they are taken care of. But sometimes we can do so much that we forget to take care of ourselves.
Right.
How do you plan for rest? How do you get that relaxation time?
It was a point to where at first me and my manager Mike Mitch, like we were going heavy, like every day. But now, the lady that I'm with, I can't, God bless me, so I can't trip or complain. Like she makes sure to, hey, that's enough, or hey, we go get your feet done, or whatever the case is. Like we go get some massages or whatever. Like at first that wasn't me. Like feet done, massages. Like I told you I didn't have Starbucks till in my 30s.
He's telling us that.
Oh. I like this.
No cap. But self-care now, I understand the benefits of self-care, and it's a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah.
A lot goes on within the African American community when it comes to mental awareness and mental health, right?
Yeah.
We look at it, and a lot of people, especially the African American men, right? Because we have no outlet, right? Because it's like, okay, if you speak about your feelings, you soft. Like I grew up, and she can vouch. Like all of my uncles, me, what you crying for? You better, you get back. You bleeding? Nah, you all right? You bleeding? Your finger it's broke. Let me,
Yeah.
But it's now those same uncles that I see now. They talk about the issues. They talk about the problems. I didn't see that growing up.
Yeah.
Because they didn't show us that side. I guess because they wanted us to, toughen up. But the older we got, the more they showed us that they are in tune with their emotional side, and that's cool. And I tell my son all the time, man, if it's something that's on your mind, let's talk about it. Me and my son take time out during the day to talk about our problems, to talk about our day, and talk about our issues, right? Because I never want him to feel like I don't have nobody to talk to, or it's not cool for me to talk to nobody, right? Because at the end of the day, holding a lot of things in that makes a lot of emotional distress and emotional problems. And not only that, if you go in a relationship with those emotional problems, or you're not stable emotionally, that's where a lot of the problems come in at, because you don't know how to handle that situation with your spouse and significant other, right? Yeah. So it's like, okay, if I'm mad, I don't know how to tell her I'm mad, so I'll show her instead.
Yeah.
And that's where the physical side of it comes from, right? Because I don't mentally know how to show you that I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And you have never mentally asked me or physically asked me, am I okay? So now I got to show you that I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And at this point, neither one of us are going to be okay. So I make that a point to have my son to be vocal about it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's dope. Yeah. It's good to have somebody on your side that allows you to be authentically you.
Yeah.
So real shout out, we always talking about supporting our women and keeping them strong. Y'all know it's all fun and games on this show. So really understand this, man. To have a woman who gets you to tap into that side of you, and it all starts with your self-care. How I didn't do pedicures, didn't do a Starbucks latte to relax, or didn't do any of those things, and now you have a woman come along and just say, take a load off. You don't have nothing to prove to nobody. What I'm presenting for you, what I'm hosting for you is a safe place, a sanctuary. So let's get to this part, and then you be able to vocalize the mental health side of things and all of that. You know what I'm saying? It's fun and games, but when we tap into the soul, it's not. It's a real highlight of, the fact that it takes a team. And I'm sure, he's learning to issue the type of support she needs as well.
Man, big fan.
But I want y'all to understand something that's like, you know, if it's not for you having a teammate on your side, somebody to help you tap into those places, then it's not for these moments where you can continue to grow, continue to educate, continue to pour into your child, you know, in a sense. One thing you said, and me and my husband, we talk about this all the time, is men having an outlet, and specifically black men, you know, having that type of outlet to be able to talk to somebody, because you guys are bred to be tough. It's the same narrative with the whole strong women, and we'll talk about that on another episode. But, you know, culturally, we are bred to have to be the tough people. You know, we got to be tough. You know, tough in the field, tough in the work field, tough in the, you know, in any aspect of our life. So when you have a place where you can actually come and have an outlet and get that stress off, man, I know that had to be a burden lifter.
Man, it was different.
You know,
like, it was different. Like for me, like I didn't get it at first. Like it was, hey, what are you doing? I used to be like, man, get in my business. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get in my business. Like, where you going? Get out of my business. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm a grown man. What you asking me
man,
where I'm going?
like, and it would lead to unnecessary arguments because she was trying to show me she cared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wasn't used to that. Like, I'm not used to being in a relationship. Like, my mom and my family show me they care all the time, but it's different when you're in a relationship with a person and they show you they care. And it's not me to, you know what I'm saying, backlash on nobody that I talked to in the past and saying y'all wasn't caring. I'm just saying for me, the time was taken out for me, for her to tailor to me. You know what I mean? And understand me, and that's a big thing, right? And like another thing on the reverse side of that is men. She told me one time, like, hey, I just want to feel protected. And I'm like, man, what you mean? We go out, ain't nobody go talk to you or nothing. You know what I mean? Like, know that. She was like, nah, I ain't trying to. She was like, I feel protected. But it's a difference for me to feel protected, right? And I didn't get that. I'm like, man, you know, it kind of stroked my ego a little bit. I'm like, what you talking about? Ain't nobody ever tried you, right? But it's for a woman to feel mentally protected is a different type of feeling, right? When a woman is mentally protected, man, when she's mentally secured and she's mentally protected, that's a different type of love, right? It unlocks a different type of love. And I didn't know that at first, right? And I'm like, man, anybody in here play with you, let me know. Yeah. And she was like, it ain't about that. I know what you're about.
You
right?
want to be the fist
alpha.
and the feet, the alpha.
I'm trying to do that. You know what I mean?
But she like, nah, I need you to tap in right here.
Man, facts. And it took me a while because me, like, I was outside. Before Corona, I was outside. Like, yeah. Before you start putting the mask on for Corona, I was outside.
Yeah.
But I never took that time to understand about her feelings. So black men, we have to also protect our black women. It's not always about us being right or us always leading, right? We get it twisted with, oh yeah, I'm the man in the house, I'm leading, you need to follow. That's not what that means, right? It don't mean when I go out the door, you go out the door too, right? That's not what leading means. That's not what being a follower means, right? It means setting the foundation. Once I see you do something, or if I see her do something, okay, that's cool. I didn't think about it that way. Let me follow that direction. That might be a cool direction for me to follow. Not, I'm gonna go out here, you come on. You know what I mean? So
that controlling mechanism.
Yeah.
No.
Sure.
See, he already leading into our next series of shows.
Yeah,
so,
he don't even know it, but he already he gonna be a part of one of them. So so this ain't the last time y'all gonna see him.
No, it's not.
But I'm just gonna say something small because they both said a lot already. I just want to zoom in back on the lady of his life. Me and my cousins, we messed with him because when she came into his life, we knew it was a change.
Yeah.
We knew that like he truly loved her and she did something. She was a difference in his life. Because this dude, what he say, he was out there in these streets. I'm gonna put his business out. I'm sorry, I got to. When she told us that he made her tea, the fact that he made her tea and he took care of her while she was feeling bad, that was man. So I appreciate her. He even massages her feet, y'all.
So if you ever need some more security, just rewatch this.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we had to let her know. This dude don't do this for everybody. Like he don't, yeah, that's not him. That's not his MO. But you know,
Yeah.
for you to come in and get this treatment from him, it's got to be something extra special even about you.
Yeah.
And so I love both of them for each other. So you know,
And I like hearing that from you.
yeah, because I don't like everybody.
I hear the stories.
She don't.
I don't like everybody.
So that is, I like it.
So
Okay.
yeah, I love it.
All right.
So
We're gonna have to have y'all on the couple show, okay? And see if Nishia T put it like this.
I mean, hey,
Really, she's
hey,
special.
I'm already seeing that they coming. They can't say no. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's a done deal.
All right, so let's ask you this: if money was not a concern, what would you be doing right now, this very minute, personally and business-wise?
Personally, well, I'm gonna start business-wise. I'm from Pleasant Grove, right? I grew up 4705 Tacoma. That's in BFL, Oak Cliff, Texas, right?
You still live there?
No, I never lived there. I'm a
That's
Grove baby
the
till I die.
Okay.
4705.
That's the root.
That's the family.
Oh,
That's
that's the
it.
root.
Okay.
That's where my roots come from, right?
Yeah.
But Pleasant Grove, like, that's my backyard, right? Section 86 is something that I want to work on, right?
Right.
That's my baby that I would love to start, that I am planning on starting. Section 86 is for a neighborhood, right? And what it's going to entail is, you know, young kids will have a place to go after school. I didn't have a place to go after school, right?
Right.
So we used to go to this place called The Bottom and play basketball every day to, you know, past the street lights. Like, street lights didn't mean go in the house.
Yeah.
It did, but it didn't.
Not yeah.
Yeah, so we was just, you know, playing basketball, hanging out, sitting on the bleachers. But Section 86 is a place to where kids will be able to come after school and learn about, you know, robotics, learn about if the different avenues and lanes that you want to take, you know, reading programs, math programs, nursing programs, things of that nature that broadens a kid's horizon and so they can understand that it's bigger than Pleasant Grove, right? It's bigger than my neighborhood. It's bigger than my street. It's bigger than my section, right? It's bigger than just me being me in a singular person. The community. If the community can come together, then, you know, we'll be.
So much more powerful.
Man, it's economics, right? A lot of people don't take the time to learn about their culture. Right? I'm well in tune with my culture, and we look at a lot of people that are not African American or black. I'm gonna say black, right? And a lot of people call those people culture vultures, right? Because they'll see what we do or they'll mimic the things that we do, right? And sometimes I look at that and I smile. Sometimes I look at that and I frown, right? Because it could be in a good light and it could be in a bad light. Let's take rap, right? Fashion. We know where rap comes from, right? We know where fashion comes from. We know where rhythm and blues come from. That comes from, you know, back in slavery days, they used to get downtime, sit by the fire. Someone would play a guitar, that's the only instrument they had back in the days. Or someone would clap their hands, stomp their feet, and they'll just sing, hum, or whatever they would do to enjoy themselves after a long, hard day, right? So we took that and we elevated it, right? And not saying like, hey, you guys can't do that, because they come along. You have Eminem, you have Jack Harlow, you have people of Caucasian distinct that have come along that are amazing at what they do. But then you have the reverse side of it. When you see a Caucasian that wants to be a robber or a jacker or a drug dealer or things of that nature. So it's like, okay, we affected them positively, right? But now we're impacting them negatively, right? So they want to do the things that we're doing, and it's not cool for us to do it, but it's not cool for y'all to do it. Like, you don't come from that, right? You know
Because
what I mean?
most people are doing it because they felt like they didn't have a choice
Right.
to do it.
Right.
So like you grew up on Section 8, you know, public housing and the projects or something like that, and you were redlined and put in those type of environments, and then, you know, you felt like my mama couldn't get a job. You know, my daddy wasn't in my life. I don't know, I don't have money, I don't know how to do it. So maybe I went out and took something, you know, from somebody to feed my family. You know, maybe I went out and got a car to get from point A to point B. You know, maybe, you know, whatever, because a lot of people, everybody that go out doing this stuff, you know, they're not doing it in the mindset of it's bad. They're doing it in the mindset of this is, I don't know, no other way. You know, and we're not saying that in a way of where we empathize, right? Because I don't never want nobody to come and steal from me or take, you know, what I didn't work hard for. But, you know, when you're living in those type of environments, you know, we know how that goes. So now when you take somebody else of another influence or another culture and they didn't have to do that, and then they start trying to mimic those ways, you know, like you said, it ain't right when as a culture we do it. It's furthermore not, it doesn't feel great when we have to observe somebody who never had to live that life trying to be that. I try to tell my son all the time, like, oh, you were raised a suburban kid. And now you're out here rapping about guns and all these different things, and you didn't have that kind of lifestyle. So
we had that same conversation about my youngest son, and I always tell him that you talk to him, that you have a conversation with him to make sure he know what he's putting out there, because once you put something out there, you can't take it back. Like, so it's the words that you spit and the life that you portraying, or you saying that you're portraying, are you true to yourself?
Is that who you are?
Is that who you are?
You know, a lot of people, it's not for a lot of people, right? They make it who they are, right? So I'm gonna say this: if you, so my black women, right, are naturally beautiful, right?
Thank you.
When we first came about, black women did not, and this is no disrespect to either one of y'all. Like, I've seen y'all in y'all natural forms both, right? And black women were not subdued to makeup, right? When we first came up, they didn't have that. So it was natural beauty. It was the melanin, right? We can get deeper, but that'll be for another conversation. But, you know, the Caucasian people, no melanin in their skins, i.e., which makes them age faster, right? When it comes to makeup and being in its natural form, like, you guys are in your purest form, in your rarest form, still beautiful beings without it. It's just an enhancer. For you guys, it's an enhancer. For them, it's makeup. It is what it is. For them, it's makeup. For you guys, it's just an enhancer. You know what I mean? So I look at my black women and I say, you know, hey, beautiful. That defines you guys. Define beauty. So now it was, and this goes back into the culture, right? It was a point to where you used to have to, you know, white women didn't want to have big butts, you know, or big breasts. They were like, hey, I know, I need to work this off. Now they the first person that adopted Miami.
That's a true story.
Right?
I remember.
Just to impress who though? But it's to impress who though?
I have
it's to impress
y'all.
Black men, right?
Black men.
Right? Because they see, hey, you know, if I can just put on a look cool, then they gonna come running. Right? So so the whole thing, man, is being true to who you are. And I said that to say this: be true to who you are. Sometimes we can put on makeup and concealer and leave it on so much that that's not who you are, but at a certain point it'll conform and confine to your face. You become that, right? So be who you are. If that's not who you are, if you're not a person that got guns or have ever sold drugs and none of that, like, I come from a family of that, like a deep line. My family is from that. You know what I mean? So if that's not you, then it's cool. That's cool for you to be smart. Right. It's cool for you to graduate, bro. It's cool for you to never touch a gun or don't know how to load. That's cool and that's fine. It's okay.
It's okay to be authentically you. Because they don't realize how much they impact, as much as they're impacted by you guys, you know, that had to live that kind of life, you were impacted by them.
Thanks.
You know, we just had a guest on the show. Y'all gonna see actually the episode prior before with Philip Boyle, where he talked about, you know, growing up doing a whole bunch of hothead, you know, street stuff, and then he had the type of friends that was going off to college and, you know, becoming things with their life and doing things, and, you know, and that's the path that he was like, you know, he didn't necessarily choose to just go back to college or whatever the case may be, but he chose a path that didn't require him to have to be that hothead street dude anymore. And now, you know, here he is on our our show last week, you know, whatever, a week before last, you know, talking about how, you know, his life has been transformed and, you know, how he has transitioned into this great role in his life as a father and as a husband. So, you know, it's so great to be yourself. Like, I be trying to tell my son the same thing. Like, you know, he's in middle school, he's going to high school this year, and, you know, his friends are sexually active. You know, they already doing what they doing. And, you know, they obviously, when they like that, they try to tell you, you know, you not cool. You know, you can't whatever. And so, like I tell him, I said, you know, what's the coldest thing that you can be is a person who stands on his own 10 toes and accepts and embraces that, you know, and that way, when you finally do find that girl, you know, that you choose to, you know, wife or however y'all phrase it at that time, you know, y'all gonna have the best experience because all your homeboys gonna be ran through and ran over and, you know, and running through a whole bunch of people while you got the opportunity to just focus on your skills, focus on your talents. You know, if it's gonna be baseball, football, basketball, robotic engineering, whatever, you put all your focus there, you know, and become the best at that, then everything else is secondary and it's just gonna be an addition. It's just gonna be extra pleasure. You know, so I don't just root for the purity and the preservation of women. I root for the purity and the preservation of the men too. Because if the wrong woman gets into your psyche or too early, man, she destroy you for the rest of the women. that's gonna come.
That's a true story.
That's a soulish thing right there. So yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah, that's something that you know you gotta share with. Like, I was talking to my partner, right, my girl, and she asked me, she said, hey, how are you going to talk to Carter when it comes to women, right? I said, hey, listen, I'm going to tell my son. She said, are you going to be one of those dads that's excited when he come in with a different girl? I said, I'm going to tell my son this, right? Hey, enjoy your life, right? Enjoy your life. If you want to be with a lot of women, enjoy your life, but make sure that you are responsible, right? But if you tell me that, hey, this is my girl, and that's who I'm going to be with, and I see multiple, then we're going to have a different conversation, right? Yeah. Because you told me, hey, this is the person that I'm going to respect, right? And she said, well, okay, well, how would you tell your daughter that? I said the same thing. I'm not going to look at my daughter, if I don't look at my son as being you know, I'm not going to look at my daughter that way, right? I'm going to tell her, hey, enjoy your life.
Exactly.
Be responsible, protect yourself at all times. But if you tell me that this is your boyfriend, right, and I see other dudes coming in, then we're going to have a different conversation. I'll never judge you because nobody ever judged me, right? It was, hey, live your life, do what you do, be careful out here, right? Same information I'm going to give my son now. Now, do I want to see a million women running? Man, respect yourself.
Exactly. Now, come on, that's what it comes down to.
Respect
yourself. Like, these men are pushed to go on these challenges, and they don't realize that the more you let your homeboys talk you into getting into that kind of life, the less respect that you're showing for yourself. You know, and that's a real thing right there. And so, but that's definitely gonna be for another episode. So, like you said, you won't see the last of Starr K because you know we want to dive into this. All of us are realists up here. We love Jesus, but you know
There's some real topics in our soul.
It's real. The good, bad, the ugly, the different and indifferent. We give it to Him, who is the author and the finisher of my salvation. But we're going to be real on this show because, you know, he's still working on us in a major way. And we just, you know, we got to be honest. Like, what's going on right now, it needs to be spoken about. And we all process these thoughts. So, Nishia, I'm going to let you take this other picture. There you go.
What we going to do?
5 years.
Okay. I kind of feel like you kind of touched on it, and it may not be the case. We just want to know what your 5-year vision or goal is, and it can be what you talked about earlier, or you can, you know, talk about
we know we got Section 86 for sure, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so that's a 5-year goal. But what is another, you know, 5-year goal that encompasses that too?
Prepare my son to be 14 in 5 years, right?
Okay.
So, my next 5 years is preparing my son for this thing we call life, right? Having those hard conversations with my son. Nobody ever took the time to explain credit to me, right? and the importance of credit. And hey, don't go get 5 cell phones in your name and don't pay the bill. You know what I mean? Don't go get you no car and in 2 months you know you can't pay the bill on it. Nobody expressed the importance of credit. Nobody expressed the importance of money. These things, and they don't teach us that in school. Just to be 100, they teach us Christopher Columbus, and I don't need.
Don't need that.
I don't need to know nothing about Christopher Columbus except he lied, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't want to know like. So you teaching me that it's okay for me to lie and steal and kill, right? But in my real life, I can't lie, steal, and kill. But a man in real life lies, steal, and kill, and y'all praise him for it, right? He got a whole day for lying, stealing, and killing, right? And exploiting people, right? But you tell my people that we shouldn't do that. Oh, we go to jail if we do that, right? It's a crime.
They get light.
Man, they throw the book at us, man, real quick. Man, we get deaf. So over the next 5 years is me getting my son ready for life. And like I told him, I said, hey man, now I need you to tell me, you know, he's 9, but I still have conversations with him. Hey, tell me if you want to go to college or not. If you don't want to go to college, son, you don't have to go to college. Like my mama told me that when I was, hey, don't waste my money. If you don't want to go to school, you ain't got to. You know what I mean? So I did what I did, and I got grants. So I didn't put her in a financial bind to where I had scholarships and grants, right? So she never had to.
Now that's a major move.
Yeah, fact.
Scholarship, because I tell my son, I don't care how much money the Gibsons make. You better still get a scholarship.
Man, for sure. You know what I'm saying? And this right here will get you a scholarship faster than these right here, or your legs or your feet or whatever. Like you can, because if you lose these today, this will still be intact, right?
I like that.
So you know, be a scholar before you can be an athlete, and that's another thing that we preach to our kids. You better make it in football. You better make it in basketball. You better be a baseball player. You know, and what about being a doctor? What about being a lawyer? And shout out to Vonda Bailey too, man, for being one of the first black judges in Dallas. You know what I mean? So that means a lot. So what about her? You know what I'm saying? What about the next her? Like that's cool to me. And I want to tell my son that, hey man, you have a black judge. Do you know like a black judge like here? You know what I mean? So
in your region,
man, in your region, in your backyard. So that's man, straight out of it. You know what I mean? And that's cool to me. So the next 5 years, I want to prepare him while also preparing and elevating myself as well. So.
Love it. All right. Well, thank you for leading into that, because that definitely goes into our next question here. And so I want you to look right there in that camera at that glowing white dot. Look into the light, Staar K. What would you tell your younger self right now if you had a chance to speak with?
Be you. Don't change up anything. You know what I mean? Take the path that's given to you. Follow the same path. If I could go back 10 years, 20 years ago, I wouldn't change anything in my life, because God has ordained my path and my footsteps to be made specifically for me. So continue to push, continue to do things that you do have no regrets, live life.
Wow. This has been good. Informative, educational.
I'm gonna tell her, I thought it was gonna go pretty quick, but then when you got to talking and getting deep, you know, all I can do is just sit back and listen and take it all in. And so all those y'all.
Thank you for tapping those waters for us.
Yeah. You there for some good nuggets.
Well, you know, she be saying a lot of things, sis. Look at that.
See, they over here, and I don't have time for this.
I do not have time for this.
Hey, we want to. Oh, you like to say something else?
No.
Okay.
We definitely want to thank all of you for tuning in, really coming and joining us and listening to everything that we've been able to share on this session. Y'all hanging in with us, and we loving it. So keep liking, keep sharing, keep following. Hit us up on our pages and Staar K. If they want to keep following you and your music and your come up, like, where can they find you?
Man, Instagram, if I don't shut it down, is official Starr _K. So official STARR _K.
Love it. So we will drop that here for sure.
Thanks.
Well, thank you guys so much. As always, we love y'all, and you have received your healing for your soul. Y'all have a blessed day.
See y'all next time. Bye.